Hi YouTube!
It's me!
I got an exciting 2 packages in the mail from Hori this week. One is the Playtest Pro, which was released recently in 3 new colors for the Nintendo Switch. And the other one is the HORIPAD Mini, which is beautifully designed for Super Mario Brothers. Or just Super Mario. No Luigi involved here. I'm going to be doing reviews for both of these. They're going to be pretty quick, simple reviews, but I am going to split them up between 2 videos. So we're going to go ahead and put our lovely little Playtest Pro down for a nap for a little. Okay, right, 1 sec. Sweet dreams. Put up a wall so we don't wake you. Now then, you can't even, this doesn't even. So the Super Mario HORIPAD Mini. This is a first for me. I have never seen in person a HORIPAD Mini. I've never held one. I'm pretty excited as a person with relatively small hands, somewhat child-sized. I'm curious how it's going to feel. And of course, a lot of this comes down to aesthetics because, you know, if you want something that looks good, you're gonna go with a Hori controller. Probably. It is a wired controller. I have the original Switch Pro controller, Nintendo's one here. This can be used in a wired state if you so desire. It is also significantly more expensive. The Pro controllers retail, you can usually find them for about $60 on sale. This little guy, this HORIPAD Mini, is only $25 retail, so much cheaper. So are you okay with giving up your wireless capabilities for a much cheaper Switch controller? I think I probably am. I don't really need my controllers to be wireless. I actually kind of like the idea of having, at least as a backup, a wired controller because I'm the kind of person who forgets to charge things and then I say I'm going to stream and I go to stream and I realize I can't unless I find a wire or batteries or something like that. So here it is. Ooh, first impressions. Buttons all feel good, as is normal for Hori controllers. It's very colorful. The print is very good. You know, it doesn't look blurry or pixelated in any way. Very good print of Mario, Bowser. The buttons are all red. The joysticks are all red. So far, so good. It is a almost 10-foot long wire too, so if you're worried about it not being long enough, not a concern for at least most cases. One thing to note is that this can't be used with the Switch Lite, at least directly out of the box, because there is no port for you to plug into on the Switch Lite. This will normally plug into the actual Switch dock. So you can use it with the Switch Lite, but you do need to have some kind of a USB adapter. Hori does make a couple USB adapter things. They have a dual USB play stand and a multi-port USB play stand, and they verified that this does work with those. It may work with other USB adapter or USB play stands that other people make, but Hori can only verify for the things that they make, and it does work with those. Let's go in for some close-ups because this does look really good up close. So this controller does not include HD rumble, NFC reader, so you can't read Amiibo with it, the gyro or the accelerometer, or anything wireless, meaning you cannot play any game that requires wireless capabilities, and there are a couple games that do need wireless for multiplayer, such as Mario Party. And it also cannot be used with games that require the gyroscope, which would include something like 1-2 Switch. No 1-2 Switch gameplay with this thing. Most games don't require those things. They are really optional features for the most part. It does depend on your personal preferences of gaming. For example, something like Zelda Breath of the Wild doesn't require that you use the gyroscope, but some people really prefer to use the gyroscope. Personally, I think I'll probably stick to using this controller with games that don't use the gyroscope at all. Some games that I think this would be really good for might be the Super Nintendo collection or the NES collection that come with Nintendo Switch Online. Those are super simple controller schemes because they're going off the SNES and the NES controllers, which are also super simple. It's worth noting that this controller does also have this turbo button here. Essentially what you can do is you can use the turbo button to repeatedly press a button of your choosing instead of pressing it on your own. I don't want to overly complicate things. I know not everybody uses the turbo feature. I personally pretty much never use the turbo feature, and I use a lot of Hori controllers, but it's useful for some, not for others. It's a nice feature to have regardless. This is definitely on the smaller side of controllers. Even with my hands, which I consider pretty small, I think this is probably on the verge of what I feel is comfortable for me. I think if you have much bigger hands, this is probably not for you. But if you're a child or if you have children and you want to be able to share a controller with them without splurging on, another $60 Nintendo Pro controller, this is a fantastic option at $25 retail. All of the same buttons that you see here are the same ones that you'll see on any Nintendo official controller. You've got the dual analog sticks, which also function as buttons, the D-pad, the XYAB, screenshot, home screen, minus, plus, and all 4 shoulder buttons. Let's see how this functions in a game real quick. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and plug this into my dock. Okay, I haven't done anything. I just plugged it in. It should be plug and play. And here's the eShop. Are we good? Yes, instantly worked. Okay, great. So it is advertised as a plug and play controller. There's no batteries. There's no connectivity. You don't have to worry about syncing things. You plug it in and you play. That really is all it is. And it seems to be functioning just as it should be. So let's go ahead and go back to the home screen. Perfect. I anticipate that no matter what we use, it's going to function the way that it's supposed to, but give it a shot. Oh, I can use my turbo to go ahead and skip past Marina and Pearl chatting. So now when I hold down the A button, it'll be as if I press it repeatedly. And I'm not pressing it repeatedly, ha ha ha. So Splatoon, in my opinion, is a game that really benefits from gyroscope, but since we are currently playing with a controller that does not have gyroscope, I'm going to go ahead into the settings and turn it off here. No problem. And just like that, we have full control without gyroscope controls. Here's the controller. You can see this is how it fits in my hands. So pretty much as expected, everything's moving smoothly. I have no complaints. If I have nothing to say about how it's controlling, that means it's good, essentially. It controls the same way that a Pro controller without gyroscope would control. It feels good. I'm happy with this. Let's talk some end game, some final conclusions and thoughts. It is a small controller, no question. This is probably something you want for children. I kind of like having this, and I like that it's only $25. I like having extra controllers around just in case there are going to be a lot of visitors. I don't know why. I never have company, but in my mind, just in case, I want to have enough controllers to go around, because you never know when you have multiple people drop by. For kids, A+. For adults, B. I can see how it's a really easy and simple controller specifically for retro games. So if you're playing the Super Nintendo or the NES Online games, or just casual games in general, definitely good for that kind of a thing. If you're a hardcore gamer, you want to play like a lot of Xenoblade and other JRPGs and action adventure, or like Smash and things like that, where you're really like putting your controllers through the ringer, this one probably isn't for you. It's definitely more on the casual and child side. Overall though, I'm really happy with it. I'm happy to have it in my collection. It looks great. If nothing else, it's pretty. I think that's it for you, little guy. Thank you for joining us today. Everyone, a round of applause for the Super Mario HORIPAD Mini. And thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful to you in some way. And if it was, let me know down below with the comments. Like, subscribe, all of the above. Stay tuned for another video shortly featuring this little guy's older brother, the Split Pad Pro for the Switch. And in the meantime, stay happy and healthy, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Love you. Mwah. Goody goody goo.